Toyota.com, sponsored by the Toyota Summer Concert Series. Get White Wilson's latest bluegrass album, Swimming Pools Movie Star, available now. Time is running out to win the Purposes Party House $5,000 a week forever prize. You get $5,000 a week for your life. Then, after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life. So only 4 days left to win. Don't miss your chance to win. It's at BCH.com. Or it's too late. It's BCH.com. Hurry, the 4 days over here. You win $5,000 a week forever. Split heading to Santa Clarita. We've got a crash blocking number 2 and 3 lanes, adding to the slowing through the Newhall Pass. Now we have a very dangerous situation over the Boyle Heights area. Looks like it's on Chicago Street at first. A car went up the curb, struck several pedestrians, 3 of them transported to a local hospital, 1 in critical condition. The driver is in custody, but you're going to have to avoid the area as police continue their investigation. You want to use Cesar Chavez or 4th going east or westbound, or use Soda Street going north or south to get around the delays. Come in today for amazing limited time offers on Chevy's full lineup of incredible award-winning models going on now during the President's Day Chevy Drive event. Visit SoCalChevy.com and then start your holiday off right with new Chevrolet from your Southern California Chevy dealer. Your next report's 1:35. More traffic reports more often. Tom Tran, KNX 1070 News Radio. You're listening to KNXC in depth, along with Charles Feldman. I'm Mike Simpson.
The Oscars this Sunday will be much different than what we're used to watching, as it'll be a show with no host. It wasn't meant to be that way, but this comes after a series of missteps by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. How will this major change impact the show, and could it lead to a disaster that'll have viewers changing the channel? We'll take you in depth with the 91st Academy Awards in 20 minutes.
You ever hit an animal with your car and then thought, oh, I could eat that?
No.
Yeah, we're guessing probably out there they haven't either. And it's a good thing because it's illegal to eat roadkill here in the state, but there's a bill in Sacramento to reverse that. Right now, joining us, the bill's author, Democratic State Senator Bob Archuleta from Pico Rivera, and Chef Doug Payne, who actually serves a roadkill annual dinner at a Hotel Vermont in Burlington, Vermont. Senator, let's start with you. Why do I need this?
Why do you need it? Because it's public safety. We're talking about taking care of people that are on the highway, middle of nowhere, and a deer and antelope crosses, and there comes a collision. And so consequently, this is why the bill, the Wildlife Highway Interface Act, this is what we're talking about. Because each year, thousands of large animals are struck on our California highways and endangering motorists and disrupting the flow of traffic. So through this Senate bill that I've introduced, SB 395, it provides Caltrans, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, and other state agencies to track these collisions. And eventually, everyone will have an app on their phone that people that live in those areas, or you'll have it on your phone, that you'll be able to actually track exactly where the collision happened. So then, in turn, we will know, Highway Patrol and everyone else will know where wildlife keeps crossing the highway, and we'll need to put up additional signs, lighting, do something to save the wildlife when they're crossing these highways out in the middle of nowhere in some cases.
Okay, so stop there. Okay, so now let's go over to the chef. So Chef Payne, roadkill. I don't know. I guess maybe it's just me. Doesn't sound like something I want to have for dinner. But is like a moose burger okay?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
So, it being up in, we're up north, down in the wilderness, with pretty strong traditions in Vermont of eating wild game meats. Bear, deer, moose, they're all quite good. And the dinner that we put on every year is in collaboration with our Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department. And they have a program where they have a list of people who want this really high quality meat, typically low income people. quality meat for them. You know, a moose can have a couple 100 pounds of good meat on it, and that can, you know, feed a family for a year.
And is it like would you put like a little ketchup and some pickles? Or?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know, chili, stews, that kind of stuff.
All right.
That's Chef Doug Payne, who does serve a Roadkill dinner, annual dinner, Hotel Vermont in Burlington, Vermont. We also heard from State Senator Bob Archuleta. Speaker Rivera has this bill that, yes, would track where collisions happen, but would also allow you to, kill it and grill it.
Come on over for some moose stew. When KNX In-Depth continues, Democrats in the House getting ready for a very long fight with President Trump over the border, his attacks on Congress, and the Russia investigation. So we will talk with a local congressman who is among those leading the charge right now. The news and brief, here's Chris Stevens.
The hillside backyards of several homes in Canyon Country are in danger of coming down. They have visibly shifted in the aftermath of recent storms. Residents are concerned. At least 2 properties on Terry Drive are in danger. Large fissures are visible in the ground behind the homes. Fences on properties at the bottom of the hillside have been mangled by the sliding earth, which raises fear of a larger potential slide. Scary situation in Boyle Heights. Car ran into a bus stop. This is on the 100 block of Chicago Street. 4 people were hit and are injured. 1 person is said to be in critical condition. Details are sketchy. Police are now at the scene. Paris Riverside County couple facing 25 years to life in prison and were sentenced as part of a deal in which they pled guilty to torturing and abusing 12 of their 13 children.
David and Louise Turpin each entered guilty pleas to 14 counts, including 1 count of torture. At times, she could be seen wiping away tears. Details about the abuse and torture their kids endured included being chained to their beds, starved, and forced to live in filth.
We were going to seek justice in a way that did not bring further harm to these victims. And I believe that we've accomplished that today.
Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestron.
This is among the worst, most aggravated child abuse cases that I've ever seen or been involved with in my career as a prosecutor.
He said he is optimistic for the Turpin siblings' future, saying they have a zest for life and big smiles. He met with them prior to the hearing. Margaret Carrero, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Update on Wall Street, the Dow closing up 181 points, S&P out at 18, NASDAQ up 68. Back to KNX In-Depth in 2 minutes. It's 1:33.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Hey everybody, it's Randy Cardoon. For the past few years, everyone's been saying go solar now before the government incentives are gone. Well, that day has come, and solar rebates no longer being offered by the big utilities. However, as part of their commitment to make solar panels affordable for everyone, SolarMax Technology is making up for the lost incentives with their own Solar for All rebate. Now, for a limited time, you can save up to 35% on solar panels. To tell you more about this amazing program, here's the CEO of SolarMax Technology, David Hsu.
Excited to be here.
SolarMax is a great American company that's truly committed to making solar panels affordable for everyone. In 2018, you installed the most residential solar panel systems in your 10-year history. Now you see panels in every neighborhood.
I knew renewable energy was the future, and I wanted to create a company to provide clean energy in the same reliable way the utility companies provide electricity.
What do you mean?
Well, when there's a problem, people have a high level of confidence the utility will take care of it. Solar companies should be just as accountable to their customers.
And while other companies just sell panels, SolarMax is the only Southern California-based company that does its own system design, panel assembly, installations, and financing, right?
That's right. At SolarMax, we handle everything in our factory in Riverside.
Your everything in-house approach. Is that why you can offer your new Solar for All rebate and still help people save up to 35%?
Our customer has a huge advantage because most solar companies are middlemen who install other companies' panels and outsource their financing to big banks. So we cut out all the middleman costs and pass on the savings to our customers.
If you're looking to go solar, now's likely the last time you can get the type of incentive-driven savings people enjoyed just a few years back. Don't miss your chance to save up to 35% on solar panels with SolarMax, the only company offering the Solar for All rebate. Call now, 800-978-3800. 800-978-3800. That's 800-978-3800. Or visit solarmaxtech.com for details. Subject to credit approval, CSLB number 972048.
Want to sell your valuable coins, high-end jewelry, collectibles, or fine art for more? Here's someone who knows exactly who you should go see.
Hi, my name is Allie Eastburn, and I'm the founder of With This Ring.
With This Ring is Allie's charity.
About 11 years ago, I realized that the ring on my finger could literally save an entire village in Africa. So I donated that ring ring, and now we have rings coming into our organization from women and men all over the world.
So who buys Allie's donated rings?
Tangible investments. Our ring donors send our rings directly to Tangible Investments, and they give us more money for those rings than anyone else ever has.
With Phil's help, Allie is changing the world.
It helps us do what we do best, which is drilling clean water wells in Liberia, Africa.
Tangible Investments owner Sil DeGenova has become America's top dealer in coins, precious metals, jewelry, and fine art. Sil guarantees you'll get more.
Thanks so much, Phil and Tangible Investments, for all you've done for us.
Call now for a no-obligation free professional appraisal. 800-885-1400. 800-885-1400. 800-885-1400.
135, traffic every 10 minutes on the 5 is your Somtran.
Northbound side of the 405 near Washington Boulevard. Motorcycle crash is clearing from the carpool lane, but it's still backed up from the 105. Earlier, Sigler on the North Santa Ana Freeway up near, down near El Toro Road. Had a crash there. Lanes have been reopened. Traffic trying to get better, but it's still pretty solid back at Avery Parkway all the way up towards El Toro. We also had a crash on the North 5 at the 14 up in Santa Clarita. This one blocked the number 2 and 3 lanes. The delays start back at the 210. We also have a Sigler on the northbound side of the 5 just past Lake Hughes. Stalled big rig here blocking number 3 lane. That's going to be in place for another 30 minutes or so. And finally, some good news on this Hollywood Freeway. North 101 before the 110. Stalled big rig has been cleared from lanes. Is still busy from 4th Street. Your next report, 145. More traffic reports more often. Tom Trey, KNX 1070 News Radio.
You're listening to KNX In Depth with Mike Simpson. I'm Charles Feldman.
The House is expected to vote next week whether to formally move to block President Trump's declaration of a national emergency at the border. Burbank Democrat Adam Schiff heads up the House Intelligence Committee. He's out with some advice for lawmakers on the other sides of the aisle. Congressman, you wrote a piece today. What did you have to say?
With my Republican colleagues to do, who have been for the last 2 years expressing private misgivings about the president's character, his lack of integrity, his attacks on the democratic institutions, that they need to speak out publicly, and more than that, they need to act. We are going to have a resolution to disapprove of this unconstitutional declaration of an emergency. This is a direct attack on the Congress's power of the purse. And they remained silent when the president went after the freedom of the press, and when the president went after the independence of the Justice Department. That was coming after the Congress, and it is past time for Republicans to speak out.
And yet, as you know, time and time again, there have been these sort of benchmarks where people have said, oh, at this point in time, Republicans in Congress are certainly going to come out and say something, and they never did.
Well, that's certainly true, and there have been